Hello and welcome to VLearn Virtual Learning Network. This is session 5 of Administrative Theory, Comparative Public Administrative. Topics to be covered: what is compare, level of analysis, range of comparative study, nature of comparative administrative study, scope of comparative public administration, significance of comparative public administration, conceptual approach in comparative public administration. So yes, in this session we will going to study about the comparative analysis on the public administration, how public administration is working, how public administration is performing, how they were doing their working. This kind of a comparison, this kind of an understanding is going to be judged in this session. So what is compare? Compare is basically was comparing one thing with another, that who is on the better position than another, who is on the accurate position than on the other. So environment of the administrative system, the whole administrative system and the formal structure of the system and the informal organizational pattern, role of individual, the interactions between personality of individual and organizational system, policy of the organization. These are what the subjects to be considered in while comparing the things, while compare the tasks. So environment of administrative system is basically worked on that condition, that how is going to environment performed in the administrative part, how whole administrative system performing, what is the formal structure, when this is a formal structure, so what is the informal organization pattern, what is the role of individual, what exactly the interactions between personality of the individual and organization system. These kind of a discussion, these kind of comparison was always occur when it comes to establishing the certain kind of activities while performing. So in that case, this is always there. If we talk about the level of an analysis, yes, there always, when it comes to comparisons, there was a level also, how much we were going to evaluate. That should be on the very basic level or on a very depth level. When it comes into comparative administrative study, it can be conducted under the 3 analytical level. इसके अंदर 3 analytical levels होते हैं. One is macro, then middle range and then micro. Macro is all about focusing on the comparison of whole administrative system. जब हम पूरे administrative system को cover करते हैं, जब हम लोग पूरे administrative part को consider करते हैं ecological part में कि how it is working, वो macro study होती है. For example, we can state that micro study would involve a comparison of administrative system of India and Great Britain. This is what the comparison of 2 countries, India and Great Britain. There were 2 different societies who were performing and they have 2 different administrative systems. So it will comprise of the detailed analysis of all the important aspects of administrative system of the 2 nations. So in 2 nations की जितने भी aspects होंगे, जितने भी factor rise up होंगे, इन दोनों की comparison किए जाएंगे, because it's a macro level, it's a very bigger level. जो range है comparison की study की वो बहुत high होगी. Then another is inter-institutional analysis. These are now the range of comparative study. इससे पहले हमने level का example लिया था जिसमें हमने macro analysis को study किया, कि macro analysis वो हुआ जब बहुत wider में हम लोगों ने study की. At the same time, the micro is that जब हमने बहुत minimum level पर किसी तरीके की study की. Now we are working on the range. क्या होती है range of comparative study? So there was an inter-institutional analysis. It basically involved a comparison of 2 or more administrative systems. जब 2 या 2 से ज़्यादा administrative systems के अंदर comparison किया जाता है, that comes into the inter-institutional analysis. तो वो institutional analysis हो जाते हैं जब 2 administrative system आपस में करें. That means Government of India हो गया, that is Home Minister of Government of India and Defence Minister of Government of India. So that is what comes into inter-institutional analysis. Then intranational analysis was there. When an analysis is comparative perspective is taken up amongst the various administrative system functioning within a country, it would be intranational analysis. That means एक nation के अंदर ही जब हम लोग विद इन अ कंट्री जब सारे एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सिस्टम के एनालिसिस करते हैं, जब उनकी स्टडीज को लिया जाता है, दैट कम्स इनटू इंट्रानेशन. अब इसके अंदर स्टेट वाइज डिफरेंस आ जाता है. दैट कंपैरिजन ऑफ डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव इन बिहार एंड पंजाब, that would be the very best appropriate example of this. That is intranational analysis. Another is cross national analysis. This is what when two or a more administrative system are compared in setting a different nation, that would be cross national analysis. That is very obvious. Name is suggesting that cross national है. जब हम लोग दूसरे नेशन के साथ एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सिस्टम के कंपैरिजंस करते हैं, वो क्रॉस नेशनल होता है. दैट इज वाई जब दो या दो से ज्यादा एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सिस्टम कंपेयर होते हैं जो डिफरेंट नेशन के हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल रिक्रूटमेंट ऑफ हाई सिविल सर्विस ऑफ चाइना, थाईलैंड एंड टैंजानिया, दैट इज व्हाट द क्रॉस नेशनल एनालिसिस. क्रॉस नेशनल एनालिसिस हैव a certain factor, that is administrative system involve countries forming part or different cultures. That is what this is cross culture analysis. ये cross culture analysis होता है. That is कि जो administrative system है वो country forming part में होता है. They were having a different cultures. For example, comparing the administrative system of the USSR with the US could be termed as in a cross culture analysis. So that is what different culture was comparing in it. In that case, even in a comparison between a developed country with a developing country, or between a developing democratic country and developing communitarism will be covered in the cross cultural comparison. अगर हम क्रॉस कल्चर कंपैरिजन की बात कर रहे हैं तो इस कंपैरिजन के अंदर हम कंपैरिजन कर सकते हैं डेवलप्ड कंपनी का विद डेवलपिंग डोमेस्टिक कंट्री के साथ, एट द सेम टाइम डेवलपिंग. इन दैट केस डेमोक्रेटिक और कम्युनलिस्टिक बोथ कैन बी कंपेयर्ड, बट द मेन कॉन्सेप्ट इज कल्चर. It is the category has been broader connections and involve an aggregations of distinctive political and economical and social culture transit of a particular system. Cross-temporal analysis. Such a comparison involves different time frame for analysis. When we stating about the cross-temporal analysis, yes, there was an analysis of a different time frame. जब हम लोग time frame की बात करते हैं तो वो cross-temporal हो जाता है. For example, administrative system prevailing during the Ashoka region and during the Akbar region. So that is what comes into the cross-temporal. Likewise, comparison between the administrative system of ancient Rome and modern Italy. So that is what two nations are included with the different modern times. Between the administrative practices prevailing during the period of Jawaharlal Nehru and Indira Gandhi would fall under the rubric of the cross-temporal analysis. In cross-temporal analysis, it may be inter-institutional, ये inter-institutional भी हो सकता है, intra-national भी हो सकता है, cross-national भी हो सकता है, cross-culture भी हो सकता है. That is a comparison of administrative control mechanism prevailing during the time of Julius Caesar, Alexander, Harshas. These are what कि इन पर्टिकुलर टाइम ड्यूरेशंस में किस तरीके से एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव प्रैक्टिसेस होती थी, वो किस किस तरीके के मैकेनिज्म्स को यूज करते थे. सो इन दैट केस दे विल लीड टू द इंटर इंस्टीट्यूशनल एंड इंटरनेशनल एंड क्रॉस नेशनल आल्सो. तो टेम्पोरल इज ओनली रिलेटेड टू टाइम. अब वो इंस्टीट्यूशनल भी हो सकती है, वो नेशनल भी हो सकती है और क्रॉस नेशनल भी हो सकती है और एट द सेम टाइम क्रॉस कल्चर भी हो सकती है. Exactness in the cross-temporal study is not possible because of the difference in the nature of the historical source available for the various period. Now, nature of comparative administrative study. When we talk about the nature of comparative administrative study, that means what are the different factors we have to understand about the comparative study. क्या होती है comparative study when it comes to the administrative part? Some scholars basically believe that it is just a comparison between the social analysis and whenever we examine any social problem or issue, We cannot do so without employing the comparative approach. So this is what, when it comes to analyze the social analysis, जब हम social analysis को analyze करते हैं या हम जब किसी भी तरीके की social problems को, social issues को discuss करते हैं, जब उसका comparison हम दूसरे other side से करते हैं, that is only related to the administrative study. So administrative, in that scholars are very much believing on the social problems, social issues. But the famous social scientist was basically discussing this approach in that there is no distinction between comparative research and general social research, for the method of a two are similar. In that case, this could be a comparative research or general social research also. Now, nominative to imperial. That is what traditional study of public administration were very much influenced by classical approach. This study emphasized upon the good administration, which was based on the following certain ideal principles. So there was the general principles and general ideas about the public administration. They were dealing with how to emphasize, how to work on the good administration. There was lot more of efficiencies and economy were considered to be a primary goal of all the administrative systems. They are more towards having enough primary factors to perform, and there were a certain principle of the formal organizations also, which help in achievement of these goals. Therefore, a few models of administration were considered useful. In ideographic or nomothetic, that is what the word ideographic and nomothetic has been used by the Rigg in the specific context. An ideography approach concentrate on the unique case, historical event, study of single agencies and single countries, and even a single cultural areas also. Nomothetic approach on the other hand seeks the development of generalization and theories which are based on the analysis of regulatories of behavior of administrative system. अगर हम ideography की बात करते हैं, ideography is very much focusing on the unique cases. Unique cases, that means which have a history in it, which have a study on a particular agency or study on a certain kind of country or a single culture area. That is जिसमें किसी तरीके का एक unique case हो, unique area हो. That is ideography. That means जिससे आप एक ideology create कर सकते हो, ideographic approach. वहीं पर normative approach होती है seek a development, generalizing and theories which are based on analysis of regularities of the behavior. जब आप regularly किसी behavior को study कर रहे होते हो, जिस स्टडी से आप किसी तरीके की एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सिस्टम पर कंक्लूजन्स देते हो, दैट विल लीड टू हैव अ डेवलप्ड जनरलाइजेशन. दे आर दोज ऑफ वर्किंग ऑन द एनालिसिस ऑफ दैट थ्योरीज. दैट कम्स इनटू द नॉमिथेटिक. In that case, nomothetic study analyze various administrative system. बहुत सारे administrative systems पर ये काम करते हैं in a very competitive context, in a manner that will help in generation of hypotheses and theories. Yes, that is what बहुत सारे competitive context को generate किया गया in theories के अंदर. The objective of such study is to look at the similarities and difference of the various administrative systems. जितने भी administrative system हैं, उनके बीच में क्या similarities हैं, क्या difference है, सिर्फ उन पर बात की गई. At the same time, the national culture and then draw a certain generalized relating to the administrative system functioning at the various level in a different setting. They will always lead to have a different nation, different culture, and then draw a certain generalization relating to और बहुत ज़्यादा जनरलाइजिंग कॉन्सेप्ट पर काम किया गया विच इज़ रिलेटेड टू द सिस्टमैटिक फंक्शंस. सो मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव यही था कि टू वर्क ऑन द प्रॉपर वर्किंग ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सिस्टम, दैट एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव वुड विल लीड टू द बेटरमेंट ऑफ द सिस्टम फंक्शनिंग. देन नॉन इकोलॉजिकल एंड इकोलॉजिकल पार्ट. It may be noticed that most of the comparative study of a public administration after a Second World War has been refining to the environment of administrative system, but the main emphasis is still on analyzing the impact on the environment on a public administrative. There are many comparative study was basically conducted after the Second World War. Many in that administrative study, they always emphasize on the impact of an environment on the public administration. The analysis relating to influence of the administrative system on the environment is still inadequate. If we talk about the analysis, which was dealing or influencing the administrative system, they were basically inadequate. At the same time, the change in emphasizing is basically noticeable. So that is what basically working on the influences of the administrative system. What are the scope of comparative public administration is now next. That is कि क्या क्या scope होते हैं if we talk about the public administration. In 20th century, the importance of public administration has grown substantially with the success of Russian Revolution, increased the role of state during and after the Second World War, measure of welfare adopted in the most of the countries, and growth of the large number of development countries. If we talk about the importance of public administration, they were basically dealing about the state. They were basically dealing about the Second World War. They were basically discussing about the most countries and growth largely involved in the developing countries. Now, there were many significance of the comparative administration. When it comes to significant, yes, there was a two factors that make the comparative study significant. First is related to the academic study of the public administration. At the same time, comparative public administration hypothesis, generalization, and model and theories which can be constructed, which can be collective help in scientific study of a public administration. So they are basically the theories. First fact, they are basically the study of public administration. They are basically the study of comparative public hypothesis and generalization model. They are working on the collective help in the scientific study. In that case, second important function is comparative is related to the relevancy to the imperial world. Through a study of comparative public administration, administrator, policy maker, academician can examine the cause for the success and failure of the particular administrative structure and pattern in a different environmental setting. In that case, yes, they are basically working on the part of the comparative study. When we saying it's a relevance of the imperial world, in that case there are the authorities who were considering about the relevancies of public administration. There are administrators, there are policy making, there are academics who are working on the success and the failure of that particular structure, success and the failure of that particular pattern in the environmental setting. They are working on that concept. Yes, there are many approaches in the comparative public administration. These are bureaucratic approach. First is bureaucratic approach. It is basically a structural characteristic of hierarchy specialization. They are basically very role specificity, recruitment by seniority cum merits, career development, training, discipline, separation between personal and official means are always there. These are what the basic approach of bureaucratic environment. The public administration do this kind of a comparison or comparative working on the bureaucratic approach. Yes, bureaucracy is very much hierarchical based, very much informal, very much specialized, role specific. They know that how to recruit on the seniority basis and the merit basis. So in that case, the bureaucratic approach is all about comparing the formal structure, that how we can this much of bureaucratic, this much of formal structure we can apply it in the public administration. That is why this model is basically emphasized on the rationality and efficiency, that how we will be so rational and how we can be very efficiently. Bureaucratic work on that approach, that is what it is always lead to improve the efficiency of the organization. If any organization work on the bureaucratic part, yes, that must the organization must be very formal, the organization must be very effective, but yes, at the same time organization will lead to have a more role specific, have to be more on the administrative part, more paperwork, more documentation. There are the bureaucratic approaches are always towards the efficiency, always be in a process working, be very specialized, but at the same time there was a lot more of documentation in bureaucratic approach. There are lot more of delays in the work in the bureaucratic approach. There are, yes, disciplines, training, separations between the personals, official meaning. There are certain things that will lead to have a bureaucratic approach. Another is behavioral approach. Behavioral approach is another approach which is working on the behavioral part. So behavioral approach is very much emphasizing on the behavioral part of the working. That means how the performer of that particular industry is performing, how they were performing, what kind of data they were collecting, what kind of an analysis they were having, how they were quantifying their work, how much of experimentation was there, testing was there, what kind of a verifications was there. So these are what the basic orientation which can be done in the behavioral approach. Behavioral approach is very much affecting the public administration. If we talk about that, means it is very much dealing with the not only with the society's performance or society's process, they are basically working on the people working in the society. That is why behavioral approach are emphasizing on the factors which are more scientific, more related, more experimenting, more qualification, verification. They are on the more judging sides, they are more on the working on the proper orientation work. That is why they are focusing on the analyzing of human behavior. They were working on the analyzing of the human activities, how human performing, how they, what they actually looking for, what are the scenarios in which they are working, what are the basic thinkings they are performing. So in these are certain analysis which is required to be performed in that kind of approaches. So this approach is, that is why included in the behavioral approach, which leads to have a more good things to be done. Another is general system approach. Now this approach is viewed as an administrative system as a subsystem of a society, and it look at the various part of administrative system. They are mainly looking at the administrative work, looking at the formal organization, informal organization, and they are working on the examining the interlinks amongst the various parts, how the everything is interrelated, how they were performing, what are the well activities they were doing. Approaches of analyzing the dynamic interactions between the administrative system and external environment. This is general system. General system is all about understanding the internal and very much external links between the organization. How formal organization related to informal organization, how internal organization supporting the external environment, at the same time what kind of factors affecting the external environment and impacting on the internal environment. These kind of approaches was come into the administrative part, just to state them, just to perform the good working of the administrative system, just to bring out the betterment of administrative system. So these are the concept which is introduced in this concept. Now ecological approach. Ecological approach is another very important approach to be considered. This is what the interactions between administrative system and its external environment, because in the previous approach we were considering the working of the external environment, how external environment is affecting, and the internal environment. So in that case, yes, ecological approach is also from the external, because ecological is a major part of the external environment. In that case, you have to define the link between the administrative system and external environment. Thus, the impact of political system, economic system, social system, cultural system on the structure and behavior of administrative system, as well as the influence of administrative system on these environmental structure is highlighted in ecological approach. This is what all the impacts of political system. क्या पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम है, क्या इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम है, क्या सोशल सिस्टम है, कल्चरल सिस्टम क्या है, किस तरीके का ओवरऑल स्ट्रक्चर है, बिहेवियर है एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सिस्टम का, हाउ दे वर इन्फ्लुएंसिंग ऑन द एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सिस्टम ऑन दीज एनवायरमेंटल स्ट्रक्चर, and yes, at the same time how that is highlighted in the ecological approach. So these kind of a thing was worked in ecological approach. Ecological approach is basically working on that concept, is basically working on this kind of scenarios. Then another is structural functioning approach. Structural functioning approach is all about discussing about the structures. That is, what are the different approaches in the structure, what are the patterns of behavior, pattern क्या है behaviors का, social system का standard feature क्या है, at the same time function क्या denotes कर रहा है, क्या impact है उस structure का, at the same time interrelationship क्या है हर system का. That is, एक तो आप जो पूरा structure बना रहे हो वो structure कैसे create कर रहे हो. When this structure is created on that particular approach, In that case, what are the scenarios which taking care in that structure? क्या impact है, क्या क्या functions perform हो रहे हैं? Is every function which is performed in the particular organization is in the structure? वो structure में है कि नहीं है? At the same time, how structure is interrelated to the various structure, वो कैसे एक structure दूसरे structure से related है? एक डिपार्टमेंट दूसरे डिपार्टमेंट से रिलेटेड है, they were performing together. In that case, Fort Ridgett has successfully applied the ecological and structural function approach in his analysis. When Fridge is basically studying about the society, जब एक सोसाइटी की अंडरस्टैंडिंग ली जा रही थी तो उस सोसाइटी के अंडरस्टैंडिंग में रिज ने बहुत अच्छे से इकोलॉजिकल और स्ट्रक्चरल फंक्शन अप्रोच को रिलेट किया सोसाइटी के साथ, बिकॉज दिस इज एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव पार्ट, दिस इज एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सिस्टम हु वर परफॉर्मिंग वेल. In that case, they were working on the ecological and structural functions. Then other is development approach. This approach is basically focused on the certain characteristics. That is what dynamic administrative system. They are basically working on the goal orientation. What kind of goal orientation, changes orientation, progressiveness, innovativeness, participation, responsiveness. This kind of development approach was kept in mind. डेवलपमेंट सिनारियोज वॉज केप्ट इन माइंड. किस तरीके से किस तरीके से एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव चेंज होता है, परफॉर्म होता है, क्या गोल्स हैं, क्या चेंज ओरिएंटेशंस हैं, मॉडल बिल्डिंग क्या है कंपैरेटिव पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशंस की, bringing out the enthusiasm of understanding the varieties of administrative patterns. So this kind of a thing was basically discussed in the development approach. यानी कि the main concept is and the main emphasis on the development part, कि किस तरीके से हर चीज़ को डेवलप किया जाएगा. तो डेवलपमेंट पार्ट यहाँ पर ज़्यादा वर्क करता है. So yes, there are few questions which you have to do it yourself. First is explain the bureaucratic approach. You have to give the understanding about that what is bureaucratic approach. Then next is what is the scope of comparative public administration, how comparative administration is public administration is performing, क्या क्या स्कोप हैं और किस किस एरिया में comparative होते हैं. So this kind of discussion you have to discuss, and this is all about for the today's session. We are winding up here. Thank you so much. Happy learning. We learn.